Hey, how's it going? Today I'm back with another video idea that is sure to make the comment section proud because I did see this dropped in a comment on one of my recent videos. Today we're looking at all-time college teams. Now, I got some explaining to do with this one. I'm going to scroll through very quickly. You see all sorts of schools on this setup. Xavier, Connecticut, St. John's. I'm naming teams that aren't really that great, but I've got 32 of them here wrapped up with Georgia Tech. Now, as I scroll through some of these rosters, these are all-time teams. So all-time Carmelo Anthony on Syracuse, for example. Yeah, you see the teams. Michael Jordan, UNC looks crazy. Now, this is only half of the setup we're using for this video. Charles Barkley on Auburn. I made this roster setup a really long time ago, and it is 64 all-time college teams. As you can see from the title, this is half of them, 32, and it's from teams that are from mostly the eastern side of the United States. It's obviously not perfect geography. There's also a lot more teams from the Eastern Conference, or sorry, the eastern side of America that I could use. But anyways, that is kind of how I split these things up. So you see a lot of these teams from our Eastern NCAA setup. And I've also got 32 teams here on our Western NCAA setup. Again, it's not a perfect split, but I did use a map to try and map out these 32 teams in both league setups. Of course, having 64 teams was too many, but since I had both these leagues already set up, I figured why not use it? I put so much time. I'm not even looking for a pat on the back, although like you can give it to me if you want. I spent so much time on all these rosters, on the setups. I downloaded all these jerseys to use. It is crazy. So I am happy the comment section, you guys suggested making this video. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate both seasons, both versions of our NCAA setup. So we're going to have 2 season sims, 2 playoffs in this video, and we'll get 1 champion from each side. So a champion from the East, a champion from the West. I wouldn't be surprised if that was UCLA with prime Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We will start with our NCAA Western Conference, Western simulation. I'm going to say conference a lot. Just deal with it, okay? I'm tired. Setting up this video did take a minute here, even with all the rosters already built. But yeah, we're going to get 1 champion from the West and the East, and then we'll make them play each other in a best of 7 series. Okay, I think that's all the explanation. Now let's get to the results of our first season sim from the West. And from our NCAA West all-time sim, Magic Johnson is MVP. Michigan State. See what I mean? The West versus East thing. It was tough. There's not very many teams in the West. Anyways, Magic wins MVP, 18 points, 11 assists per game. Connie Hawkins at Iowa listed as Rookie of the Year. Cool, not bad. Domantas Sabonis from Gonzaga. Yeah, the Pacific Northwest 6-man. DeAndre Jordan, Texas A&M, DPOY. Malachi Flynn from the Washington State Cougars, Most Improved. And Cade Cunningham from OK State, Clutch Player of the Year. All NBA first team from this simulation: Magic, KD, D Wade, Connie Hawkins, Paul George from Fresno State. He probably won like 5 games though. No supporting cast at all. Mikhail Maravich, Jordan, JoJo White, George Yardley, an OG from Stanford, Klay Thompson, Gilbert, Russ, Bob Pettit, John Stockton. So many legends, man. Oh my goodness. Look at the Eastern Conference of our first sim. UCLA won 75 games. Michigan State, LSU 69 and 68. Kansas even snuck in there with 60. Yeah, we've got some heavyweights over here. That is crazy. We've also got some really bad teams like Paul George and Fresno State. Over on the other side of the bracket, Washington State, Missouri, Baylor. Yeah, obviously some schools that do not have the depth of all-time talent. UNLV gets a 1 seed. Okay, UNLV's best player is Sean Marion. Sure. Okay, why not? Not everything needs to make sense. Klay Thompson led the nation, or half the nation, in scoring 25 points a game. That's funny. KD, Dwayne Wade, some of the star players who don't have the greatest supporting cast. But anyways, we move. I'm going to go ahead and simulate through the play-in just because we've got a lot of ground to cover. Arizona State with James Harden makes it, as does Gonzaga. That makes sense. Over on the other side of the bracket, Minnesota, the Golden Gophers, as well the Cal Golden Bears make it. Are they the Golden Bears or just, you know what? It doesn't matter. On to the playoffs we go. These are best of 7 series. I feel like our champ from the NCAA West simulation is going to come from the right-hand side of our bracket. UCLA remains just the out-and-out favorite. We'll see if anybody can take them down. That's kind of the whole goal of this video. Somebody beat the UCLA Bruins. They are the only team to sweep in the first round. Marcus Johnson leading the way. Bill Walton, a triple-double. I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar not even doing anything in a game in the playoffs, and they still win. That is, yeah, it's trouble for the rest of our leagues. Hey, it's Jay, and this is my dog Winnie, who's way too big to be sitting on my lap right now. If you're a grown adult interested in winning some money playing daily or season-long fantasy, then check out Underdog. I'm sure you've heard of them by now, so I won't bore you, but if you use code JCAN when signing up, it helps me out and also you as well. If you're not a grown adult, then don't worry, this part of the video is over. UCLA's so good, that era in the late 1960s, early 1970s, when they basically won the national title every single year. I'm not quite old enough to remember that, but I digress. We've got 2 Game 7s in our first round. Somehow Iowa is pushing Kansas? Kansas has Wilt Chamberlain, Paul Pierce. This would be a crazy upset. And with 33 seconds left, it's a tie game. Are you kidding me? Iowa, that's Reggie Evans inbounding the ball. What am I seeing? Freddie Brown pulling up mid-range. That was kind of a dumb shot. He missed it. Kansas has no business losing this game. They don't have their best rotation out there, I'll be honest, but JoJo White is a legend. Wilt Chamberlain's inside on one of the Murrays. Is that Chris or Keegan? Wilt's going to spin. He's going to kick it out. Grady Dick into the corner. Joel. Can Kansas really not find a good shot here? Danny Manning to the rim, puts it up and puts it in. Are you kidding me? Of all the legends on Kansas, is it really Danny Manning with a playoff series winning game winner? Freddie Brown coming back for Iowa. A chance to send it to OT. Oh my gosh, he did. Are you kidding me? Unfortunately, we got to go to Simcast. I've got too many playoff series to get through. If Iowa pulls this off, I mean, this video, I don't even know what to say. I literally, oh my goodness, they just did it. How in the world? Paul Pierce, Danny Manning, Clyde Lovelet. This is a stacked team. Kansas is probably one of the 10 best rosters. They just lost to Fred Brown and Connie Bro. This Iowa team is going to get stomped in the second round. Like, it's not even going to be close. They're going to get destroyed by UCLA. But how did they win a round? That is a good story, regardless of how their playoff run ends. We've also got a Game 7 Gonzaga, Michigan. Wow, Michigan, a 2 seed, might get upset here? Never mind. They're able to hold off the Gonzaga Bulldogs. 15, wow, Campy Russell, 23 points in 15 minutes. That's a flamethrower. Okay, the Wolverines advance. We've got our second round matchup set. I mean, we'll see if Iowa can somehow beat UCLA, but yeah, probably not. That series is going to be over in like 3 games. It is going to be over in a sweep. Yes, Michigan State with MVP Magic Johnson. They will also be off to the conference finals. Goodbye, Shaq and LSU. On the other side of our bracket, UNLV, the 1 seed, gets taken down by Houston, which isn't that shocking. Hakeem Olajuwon, 23 points, 8 rebounds per game in the playoffs. He is definitely a stud. In the other series, we're going to get Michigan after their first round scare, advancing off to the Final Four. On one side, you've got Magic, Steve Smith, Jaren Jackson. I mean, Michigan State is no joke, but look at that starting 5 for UCLA. They've got prime Russell Westbrook and others off the bench. It's just, how do you beat that, man? Even though I'm calling this the NCAA West, we've got both Michigan teams. It doesn't really make sense, but the Wolverines, I don't think they're, I mean, I guess they can make the finals here. Either way, I'm going to keep saying it. UCLA is the team to beat, and I don't think they are going to lose. Michigan goes up 2-1. Michigan State does take a game off UCLA, but that is it, as Hakeem and the Houston Cougars will also advance. It's actually Clyde Drexler who wins conference finals MVP. 8 points a game for Bill Walton. Okay. Just because I've been gassing them up so much, here is the full UCLA roster. Russ is coming off the bench, which is just crazy. I'm not even saying it's a bad decision, but yeah, this team goes so, like, they are so deep. I had so many options. I had to cut some really good players from their team. It's so wild. But they are off to the finals to face the Houston Cougars, who do have a really good big 3. Hakeem, Elvin Hayes, Clyde Drexler, also all played for the Houston Rockets, which is kind of fun. Can Hakeem Olajuwon do something amazing for me right here, right now? UCLA takes game 1. UCLA takes game 2. UCLA takes game 3 and game 4. That's a bit anticlimactic. I'm a bit upset, but also I'm not. UCLA has a crazy franchise history, or not franchise, but school history in terms of NCAA men's basketball. So there you go. Finals MVP Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, we'll put that on the back burner. We will see the UCLA Bruins once again. I will end up putting them in a 7-game series against whoever comes out of our other NCAA all-time sim. This is the eastern part of our NCAA map. Again, that's very loose. Okay, and let's go. Our East NCAA sim in the books of Cincinnati, Oscar Robertson, MVP, Walt Bellamy from Indiana, Rookie of the Year, Terry Dishinger from Purdue, 6-man, Dave Cowan's putting up huge numbers for the Florida State Seminoles, Jaden Ivey from Purdue, most most improved, and Rick Barry, speaking of monster numbers, 35 and 13, my word. Unfortunately, I bet Rick Barry and the Miami Hurricanes as a team were not very good, but those numbers go crazy. Ty Jerome making all NBA second team. Michael Jordan pushed all the way down to third team. His supporting cast, absolutely wild though. Our big question, will UNC, who won 68 games, or anyone else compete with the UCLA Bruins in our eventual national championship series? South Carolina, by the way, 7 and 75. Okay, that's not a great sim for them. Over on the other side, yeah, Rick Barry was a one-man show. Miami only 18 wins. Kentucky won 73. Kentucky and Ohio State clear, along with Connecticut, from everyone else in their conference. Rick Barry, though, 35 points a game. So it wasn't Klay Thompson from our other sim. It was Rick Barry who led the nation in scoring by a country mile. Chris Bosh, 15 rebounds per game. Ty Jerome averaging a fire double-double for Virginia. That's fun. But let's get to it. Virginia, one of our 4 teams, well, 8 teams total in the play-in, and they will not make it. It'll be Maryland, the Terrapins, and Memphis. Okay, that means Derrick Rose and the Memphis Tigers. Penny Hardaway there too, right? They make it through. Syracuse won a game on the other side, but it'll be Indiana and DePaul. Okay, DePaul's kind of a fun roster led by George Mikan, but I don't think they'll be able to compete with Michael Jordan and UNC. We will find out though. UK, the Kentucky Wildcats on the other side, by the way, definitely favorites. Would they win 73 games and they sweep round 1, as do the Tar Heels of UNC. Quentin Richardson led the way. Oh yeah, Bob McAdoo is teammates with LeBron and with Michael Jordan. There's no LeBron here. And Bob McAdoo is just the GOAT of NBA 2K25. Our 2 heavyweights have obviously advanced. Let's see if we get any great series. Duke advances past Big O Oscar Robertson and the Cincinnati Bearcats. Wake Forest takes down Auburn, so that's Tim Duncan over Charles Barkley. Ohio State, they won't get forced to a Game 7. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4 seeds on this side of our bracket. Over on the other side, we do have a couple Game 7s. Villanova versus Georgetown. That's a good battle. Georgetown, Allen Iverson, and a bunch of big men. That's basically their roster. And look at that. It's going to work. At least in the first round, AI and the bigs come through. 32 and 15 for the answer. He averaged 30 and 12 for the playoff run. That is very good. Our other Game 7, Indiana versus Louisville. For the sake of saving a little bit of time, I'm going to simulate through, and Indiana upsets. That's Isaiah Thomas, right? Out of Indiana. Okay. Still the question remains, Kentucky, UNC. Will anybody be able to beat those 2 heavyweights? UNC and Kentucky both go up 2-0 in their series. Okay, they both go up 3-0 in those series. Ooh, Georgetown takes a game. Will that matter in the long run? Probably not, as UNC closes it out in 5 games. A good run so far for the Buckeyes. John Havlicek, 22, 6, and 6. Yeah, that'll get the job done. Just 1 series yet to wrap up in our second round. Duke, Indiana, and it's going to go to a Game 7. Wow. Duke is honestly not as good as you might think on paper, at least, but they still should probably beat the Hoosiers, and they're not going to. It's an 8-point win for Indiana. Okay, so Duke, along with, who was the team that got upset on our other sim? I'm trying to remember. Oh, that's right. It was the Kansas Jayhawks who lost to Iowa. In this case, Duke, I mean, yeah, their team might not be as good as you'd think when you hear Duke, but it's still pretty freaking fire and definitely better than Indiana, but it doesn't matter. As off to our conference finals from our NCAA all-time Eastern simulation, the Indiana Hoosiers, I mean, they're not bad. Honestly, I might be sleeping on them a bit. UNC though, they very good. They very good. Understatement of the century. Over here, we've got Ohio State, a really fun team. I mean, they could possibly challenge Kentucky. It wouldn't be the craziest thing ever. Kentucky, obviously, a bunch of recent players, AD, Cat, John Wall, Shea. Ohio State takes game 1, though, as does UNC. It's a 1-1 series on both sides. It's 2-1 UNC. Kentucky, it's 2-2. It's 3-2 for the Tar Heels and the Wildcats. Do we get a Game 7? We do. Unfortunately, Indiana couldn't get the job done. George McGinnis and Isaiah Thomas trying to carry, but Michael Jordan having a really good sim in this video. We love to see it. Over on the other side, Kentucky versus Ohio State. Let's see it, man. Ohio State, a very good school, all-time legends-wise, but I think it would still be considered an upset. Oh my goodness. And look at this. Jumping in with 8 seconds left. I just decided to jump in to see these teams in action. Even though the game is over, look what we see. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the free throw line. Insane. Foul baiting to the very end, but it is the end for his Kentucky Wildcats, a 12-point loss to Ohio State. Shai did have 25 and 9. He made 9 of 9 field goals. He didn't miss a shot. Wow, a perfect performance, but it wasn't enough. The Ohio State Buckeyes, a bit of a surprise. Jerry Lucas wins Finals MVP from that series. Michael Jordan from the other one, 22-8. Yep, he's carrying a really great UNC Tar Heel squad. Unfortunately, no crazy Cinderella run on this side of the bracket or our first with UCLA winning, but let's see it. From the eastern sort of portion of our map, it's loose, I will say again. Do we get the Tar Heels or the Buckeyes coming out on top? Do we get a good NBA Finals? UNC goes up 3-1 and they close it out in 5. NBA Finals, so often anticlimactic in this game. But there you go, Michael Jeffrey Jordan gets it done. 32 teams were in this region, only 1 left standing, but overall, out of our 64 teams, only 2 were left standing, the UNC Tar Heels, the UCLA Bruins. I just copy and pasted the UCLA Bruins into this playoff bracket. Don't even worry about it. The head-to-head matchup, at least in terms of starters, I think UCLA has the upper hand. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I think this UCLA team, they always simulate well when I build them, so I think they're gonna win, but I have no clue. If Michael Jordan keeps doing what he has done in this video, you never know. UCLA does take game 1. The Tar Heels tie it up. We should have a good series. UCLA takes game 2. It's going to a game 6. UNC takes the series lead. Oh my word. I thought UCLA would win it, people. At the very worst, we're getting a game 7. UNC, oh, they had a lead for most of this game, but it's gonna go to a game 7, I fear. UCLA too strong on the road. They will force a game 7. MJ had 22, so did Kareem. And that is a great way to end this video. Let's go. 64 college teams entered, all of them full of legends and players in their prime. Only 2 left standing, and UCLA is blowing them out. Okay, the Tar Heels fighting to make up ground, but it's not gonna be enough, as after 2 championship simulations, we do get 1 ultimate champion, the UCLA Bruins. From 64 teams, we whittled it down, and Russell Westbrook wins Finals MVP. That was a bit anticlimactic because I knew UCLA would be one of the best simulating schools, but don't shoot the messenger. I mean, they're loaded. What do you want from me? I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know other ideas down below in the comments section.